And thank you, Klaus, for the 60 60 stream streak. I do appreciate that. So now we're gonna be checking out the demo for Homestead. Now, this is a version 0.21 demo, so it's a fairly early alpha, beta, whatever version. Expect some bugs, expect some balance issues, expect some weird glitchiness. That's perfectly normal for this kind of an early build. With that said, the way I have seen this game, because I caught FG Squared playing this before I did, is it kind of made me think of like Core Keeper, but like the graphics looked a little bit Graveyard Keeper as far as the animations, while not really having the rest of like the whole, you know, graveyardy theme. But instead of being underground, Rome has fallen, and you are trying to like rebuild. So it's got kind of like the building aspect that's almost like Settlement Builder a bit, but like a heavy aspect on like fighting the enemies and getting your materials to go. So with that said, I always like to check the settings right away, keeping in mind this is an early demo, so likely the settings will be a little sparse. This one actually seems to have a lot. We got multiple language support. We can scale the UI. They have one that scales based on resolution, and this actually seems relatively good, so it seems like it's pretty good. You can scale the cursor and all that. I would argue the cursor here did not seem to change. We'll put that back just in case. It might be in-game only, but it looks like you're going to have some scaling UI stuff, so that's good. Sound stuff here. I appreciate that, like, ambience is its own thing. If there is vocals, obviously I'd want that to be another thing. There may or may not be. We have water caustics. Enable water caustics shader. Okay, so it's just a thing that causes performance implications. Interestingly enough, reflections are supported by the game, but turned off by default, which I assume that's for performance reasons. Depth of field is disabled by default. Like, interestingly enough, they've got a lot of settings in here that most games turn on by default to make their games, you know, either look good or fit their theme or whatever, but cause lots of people with like motion sickness issues or performance issues and all that problems. So it is curious that these are all turned off by default, because I have not changed these. So that's a curiosity. I don't think it's a bad thing. It looks like it is not detected that I'm using a Dvorak keyboard, but that's okay. Again, early version, and honestly, it's pretty inconsistent wherever that goes. So, like, non-standard, I shouldn't say non-standard, non-QWERTY keyboard layouts will likely need to be either you reconfigure the controls or just switch it over to QWERTY. That's fine, it's not unusual. You can disable the HUD entirely. Okay, that sounds brave. Unlock chat. Unlock chat. I don't believe this is an online game, so I'm curious about that. Oh, it's probably conversations with the NPCs. And then there is a tutorial. There's a lot of stuff in there. We're gonna go ahead. Oh, right, chat, multiplayer. Right. It has multiplayer. That makes sense. Right, because I think the dev said the game supports 8 out of the box, that you can have 8 players to play. But they did test the server with 30 and it ran. It's just they have it set to 8. Hi.
Hi. It says Romestead.
Mm-hmm. I love you.
Is it ancient Rome?
It's ancient Rome after it fell, sort of.
I mean, those do look like the ruins of the Forum right there.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like Roman times, but like a fantasy Rome where things have fallen and you're rebuilding or something like that.
Hi, Infinity Simplex.
Mm-hmm.
We'll enjoy doing stuff in ancient Rome after it fell.
Okay, love you.
Yeah.
Alright, so we'll choose single player. We have to create a character. Alright, so this is where it's saying, like, the character sort of reminds me of Graveyard Keeper, just in the sense that, like, the scale of, like, the legs to the rest of it, and having kind of, like, really, if you look at the proportions of this dude is, like, just a tank. He's got, like, gorilla arms on that torso. But I like the aesthetic. It's good. I think it stands out. But that is some buff dude. Alright, we only got a couple of hairstyles right now, but this is, you know, a fairly early version, and for all we know, this will be one of those cases where you slap a helmet on, you never see your hair again kind of deals. Sure, we'll do the ponytail. That just straight up looks like a helmet there. Like, not in a bad way, it's just the gray with, like, a slicked back thing gives a very, very helmet look. Sure, we'll just do that. Eyes. So there is no changing the eyes there, you could just change the eye color. Which they are changing, but it's hard to see. As far as I could tell, the only difference between male and female body type is there's 2 pixels right in the middle of the neck to lightly imply that there is a separation there. That appears to be the only difference between the two. Honestly, especially if we're putting on armor, it probably doesn't matter at all. You'll probably just put on the armor and never see your body again. Okay, so for professions, gotcha. So we do a phalanx, we get shield skill, we start with a civilian tunic, sandals, wooden shield, and some game. And some on the eyes. Oh, is there a difference on the eyes? Oh, there is. Oh, they ever so lightly lighten the eyebrows? And I think that's the only difference. Like, they take the eyebrows like 1 shade lighter. Like I said, I don't think it probably matters. It's probably gonna be one of those things that you put on your armor and immediately don't think. Did the hair change slightly? Not seeing the hair change. Either way. We can change that and we get, for a lobber, we get wrist wraps. So instead of a shield and sandals, we get wrist wraps, and throwing skill instead of shields. We get a scholar where we get scrolls, and we get a scroll of the novice. We got a woodcutter where we get a flint axe. We got a miner where we get a flint pickaxe. We got a mechanicus where we get a workbench. We get a gladiator where we get a sword. Oh, it's also changing our outfit. I was busy focusing on the stats. We got a legionary where we get a flint hosta, which I think is like a spear. Yeah. Like a short spear, if I remember correctly. Scroll of the Novice, Cosmo Bolt. This scroll is used by beginner spellcaster offering both offense and defense. So there's magic in the game, so I think I'm going to mess with magic because why the heck not? We'll just go with the name like this because this is a demo. I don't need to come up with a whole theme to the playthrough or anything. It's a demo. Alright, so we got our new character. So we need to create a new world. We can do small, standard. Those are only choice. I'll do standard. Sure, we'll just go with whatever here is. So, Signon. They're generating the world. That tells me procedural generation. That's not unexpected for this style of game. And it looks like using the classic style based on these descriptions of they noise map the world. They then, set their biomes and all that kind of stuff. Then they go through and they carve through and go, okay, city here, and they'll replace that. Okay, they caves there. Like, whatever entities are setting up, because they have the dialogue there telling. That's pretty standard. That's been done for world generation forever. It's a pretty solid one. To create the broad world and then carve out spots for special stuff. Okay, so I did have to switch to curry. Acquiring your first materials. You need flint shards. Throw a flint on a rock to generate some shards. Interesting. Collect flint.
Huh?
Wanderer, you walk among the remnants of an age turned to dust. Who are you? I don't remember. I feel I'm just a memory, an echo of something once was. I have some powers left, but they are waning. I still remember some ways around the world, so if you need help to survive, feel free to ask. Can I help you? If your senses have been keen, surely you must have seen the giant owl flying overhead from time to time. There is something in me that calls to it. I don't know why yet. I know this is a great ask, but if you had managed to bring it down, you could offer one of its eyes upon the altar. I'll get it done. Thank you. Wanderer. Yeah, okay, that's repeating. Who are you? I don't remember. Yeah, we've already got that line. How do I get flint shards? I don't think I need to read that. Okay, so we need to get flint. Got ourselves a mushroom. You need a pickaxe to mine that. There, so you're flint. That's kind of an interesting mechanic. That to break up flint before you have tools, you just basically grab the flint chunks and just smash them against rocks until they give you what you need. Hey! We don't need any of that. You're just a goat. Leave me alone. Okay, there's a health bar there. In my head for just a moment, I was like, watch it hit 0 and then realize that's my health bar and not the trees, that I'm hurting myself punching a tree. Okay. We claim our reward, which is a flint pickaxe recipe. Alright, so we need to craft. You have unlocked crafting recipes. Go away, big rat. I'm trying to be productive. You feel a presence in the skies. Oh, I see. I have a dedicated spot for the axe, a dedicated spot for the pickaxe. I understand. So we can make a Hasta, which is a ranged attack, or a Flint Gladius. Alright. So, with the lumber axe equipped, by attacking, place with, okay. The lumber axe took, damage a tree based on your lumber axe power. Chop down a large tree by attacking it and place one of the logs on top of it to cut into wood planks. One thing I'm immediately appreciating is that I don't have to go through and be like, okay, hit 1 to equip the axe, hit 1 to equip the next thing. Is it possible to move the... Yeah, I could do that. Let me go ahead and move that over. Which, for the record, that sponsorship is almost over. We got, what, is tomorrow the last day of it? Yeah, so tomorrow will be the very last day of that sponsorship, and then the graphic will no longer be on the screen. So I do appreciate everyone, you know, being supportive and all that kind of stuff with the sponsorship stuff and how much people have participated and all that. It does all really help a whole lot. For those who don't know what we're talking about, Opera GX has been sponsoring the channel for the last month, and it has been immensely helpful for me. Because that means I don't have to hit you all up for, like, subs and bits and all that kind of stuff, or hoping the ad revenue is good and yada yada. Gives me a little bit more flexibility and whatnot. Okay. So we gained wood cutting skill, which is interesting. Craft a workbench. Okay. Workbench. Craft. It's not exactly what I had in mind, but okay. To put down my bar. Okay, so I put it down on my bar. Fair enough. New tutorial. Furniture mode. Open your journal for more information. Alright. Town core and altar. Construct and interact with the town core. Okay, I'm assuming I make the town core on that. Construction mode. Through the workbench, you can access construction mode where you place out construction sites in various buildings and infrastructure. Every new settlement needs a town core. Later in the game, you'll be able to connect trade routes to move resources and materials between different settlements. So, yeah, so we build this, and we can make our town core. And I will put it over here. Alright, so you consider a big tree? Hey! All you had to do is not attack me, rat. That's weird that that's a mini-game. Let's see, hopefully the numbers are a positive statement. They'll do it again in the future. Yeah, no, I think it's gone pretty good. We've had a pretty good turnout on that. Alright, so we've got our town. There's no one lives here or anything like that. Construct and interact with an altar. So, altar. Yeah, I'm not convinced about the mini-game here. New tutorial, upgrading construction. Construct and interact with the altar. Okay. Offerings. You approach the altar with your inventory ready. Have some meat. Your offering is unimpressive. Have some poison mushroom. This is a fine offering. Okay. Sacrifices. Let no one perform sacrifice except according to the ancestral custom. Okay, so claim a reward. You have founded your first town, building houses for citizens before heading out. As you explore, you'll find survivors that can be recruited to town. Do not forget to build defenses in order to protect your town from threats. Alright. Shocker, marble is pretty durable. But it does seem like we gain levels in mining for just doing it. And so now I'm getting just 3 damage, we're getting the occasional. I would have let you live, animal, but you had to be a jerk about it. Okay. Okay, so now I can go up here. So constructions. So we should build an empty house. Let's clean up a little area for this. I appreciate that the log did seem to reliably give me saplings. I'm not the biggest fan of the cursor, if you haven't noticed it. It's a sword, and it points up. When you click and hold, it bends down. It just makes the targeting of it a little weird. It's not bad, but it kind of feels like something that doesn't really serve a purpose. Alright, so let's get a house, place it here. Overall, I'm liking the game a lot, though. If anyone's curious, I'm definitely enjoying the game so far quite a bit. So one thing we'll probably want to do is, I'm assuming the fact that we keep finding food items, even though I don't see any type of like hunger gauge or anything like that on here, we probably have to feed things. The point of the sword is not to be stationary point. The point of the sword not being in a stationary point for that rotation seems to be counter to it being a good cursor. Right. That's kind of where I was at. So overall, I'm liking most of the stuff. The mini-game building stuff's a little weird. I don't think it's good, bad, or otherwise. The cursor kind of getting out of the way, like bending like that, I think works against the purpose of the cursor. Lumberyard automatically acquires lumber. Speed is increased by the amount of trees nearby. Insula, a home for jobless citizens. Oh, this is my home. Okay, so we'll need to build a home for our citizens. Then we're gonna need to clear up space for the other stuff. Alright. It's definitely feeling like a game I'm gonna burn a lot of hours into eventually. It's like, hey man, you put too many logs here. How make build? How make build? Oh, I see. I see. I was allowed to place it, but it was blocked. And I think a lot of that could be fixed by just scaling up those UI elements a bit more to draw a little bit more attention to it. Considering it won't even let me place the buildings in a lot of other places. Unless I have what I need for it. Yeah, I think with like the X being small, a big part of that is just a matter of you know, higher resolution, that kind of stuff. Okay, so I probably have enough room for the lumberyard thing over there. Okay, so there is a dodge, that's E. Alright, so let's get the lumberyard. Oh, okay. So we got 3 trees over there. Those trees don't count over there. It does seem we got a limit on how far I can move these. We got 3 trees up here. And get 4 trees down here, so I think that's where we're going. Not sure what that was, but it died, so okay. Now, imagining if we get, like, oak trees, cedar trees, whatever the wood is here. And we go and we plant a bunch of those right here. That'd help tremendously. Alright, so I need to go and get wood, but not from there. That's not what I meant to do, but okay. Do I have limited uses of that? No. I didn't see a mana bar either, so I'm not sure how that all works. I also low-key appreciate just chucking the stuff into the construction site, not having to, like, you know, walk over and drop them each on the ground one by one. Okay, so you need 2 more. I'm deliberately trying to avoid all the trees nearby. And I very much appreciate a game that has, like, you know, you cut down the trees and you slowly gain levels at getting better at cutting down trees. You know, that kind of steady progression kind of thing. Your journal is ready. Okay, so we got that. Now, I mentioned setting up defenses. That's going to be interesting to do with the size of this area where I had to move stuff around. So we've got all these basic buildings except the leather worker, which it doesn't seem to care too much about the stuff around that. I'll put the leather worker up there. Oh, you hurt a lot. Okay, now I understand what makes this so hard. When you get hit by something, it straight up just slams you for a bunch of your life. The fact that just being bopped by a goat is like 1/3 of my health. Alright. I can get down with the NPC just being like, this is not my problem, and then just demolishing it. Yeah, and we did get a thing that said that, we'd be able to throw NPCs at this and make our lives way easier. Alright, being a scholar, it does seem like, in fact, the spellcasting is the way to go. It looks like the stamina bar shows up only when you cast, and it's not full. And it seems to be yellow, surprisingly, almost like it's a stamina bar. Okay. But yeah, it basically implied that we would be able to, get a town folks to do the wood cutting for me. I'm just trying to have the basics buildings here, so that we can go out and try and seek them out. I am noticing, as far as I can tell, we don't recover health over time. My assumption, then, is that we don't get it over time. It's gonna be like, we eat things to heal, or we sleep. It looks like I've got ore up here. But once we get some of these basics set up, we're going to want to run around here a little bit. And see if we can't find survivors to work our stuff. Alright, so we gained a skill in construction. New favor points. Okay. So skills and favor. So skills, we are a level 5 scrolls. We're level 6 woodcutting, 5 mining, 4 construction, a little bit of melee. Okay, so we've got a skill tree here. Construction hit area is increased by 25%, giving 25% more progress, so we build faster. Increases the strength of our pickaxe, and increases the strength of our axe. We will be able to generate health by napping. We can mean earthquake. When dashing, you have 20% chance to leave a trailing earthquake. 10% extra melee damage. Burst of movement speed and all that. Crit damage. Aerobic, you can dash through creatures. Armor, Infectorium. Dealing damage invigorates you, increasing energy regeneration for a short time. Stacks the consecutive hits. Potion cooldown. Spell Blade Master. So that looks like caster stuff over here on the left from the looks of it. Gotcha. So it definitely looks like the left side is going to be our caster stuff. Whereas the right side looks like you can do like bleeds on enemy. This is like a tanky area. This is attack speed and range. This seems to be throwing. This is like archery range kind of stuff. There's necrotic damage. Sure. Scroll all tutorials, that's fine. Okay. We ate the cheese for healing. Alright. So with that, I think we got our basic stuff built. Let's start running around and seeing if I can't... find any, other people to bring along. This is a bad idea. When did you hurt me? Haha! You are defeated! Oh, no, wait, never mind, you figured it out. Oh, I didn't have enough energy to dodge. Well, considering I didn't prepare at all, and it was like, alright, let's just do this. Because it's very clear that destroying that egg was going to do something. Like, something was going to trigger and make my life worse. But you had to. I think I actually went for spacebar to dodge. Okay, so it seems like my spellcasting and my dodge use the same energy. That's good information to know. I don't know what you are, but I want to look at you. Okay. Oh, I must have dropped all my stuff. Oh, hang on. I didn't realize I was getting locked in here. Alright, hang on. That wasn't really part of the plan. Okay. Ow. Can I leave now? I want to leave. Oh, that is so us dead. Alright. So, the dungeon isn't you poke your nose in and then you leave. Lesson learned. So we drop our stuff. Let's see if I can't figure out where I died. Is there a map? Ah, okay. So the only thing we had when we went into the dungeon was the stuff from the dungeon. There we go. So we got our stuff back. That's good news. Okay. We got a tree here that's gonna be something. Ow. Under trinket slot, maybe? Nope. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So right now we're just running around, seeing if we can't find people. There's wolves over there. There's a boar up there with some flint. Are you hostile towards me? Is that what's going on? Or are you shooting at them? Okay. Oh, I think that's a door up here. Yeah, it seems like that's a door, but it seems to be more durable than the wall ultimately is, so we'll just go through the wall, I guess. Nope, don't fix it. We're bad at this breaking in and entering thing. Because this person in here doesn't seem to be hostile. It seems like they were just trapped in by the undead things or whatever. So my hope is we smash through this wall. And then once we're through there, we'll be able to get this person to join us. That way they can have a future in lumberjacking. Can you... There we go. Getting by on rabbits and rats right now. Quite a dire sense. I know. Do you know a safe place? Send to town. Alright. So let's get back to town. Probably... Oh, let's make bad choices. Well, you have a good time, Bear. I am exiting stage right. Okay. So I can go over here and see what we can find. Alright, we got like... The sign depicts an open fire on the ground. I'm assuming he wants me to make a campfire or something there, but I'm not sure if we even know how to do that. We'll go ahead and go straight to the left. Okay. So I've got you. You work there. Congratulations on your new digs and your new job. Alright, so we've got one person who's now lumberjacking for us. So let's see what we can do otherwise. Food storage. Working to getting that sorted. Hey, Brildane. Yeah, no, I've been enjoying it so far. If we get a shout out for Brildane, I would have much appreciate it. But yeah, I've been enjoying it so far. It's very Core Keeper-esque, except instead of just being stuck down a bunch of caves, you're kind of doing that. A little bit more city builder, but also go ahead and check out Brildane. Really good times over there. Plays a lot of RimWorld among other games, so definitely worth checking out all that. But, I'm not sure if you've been checking out much in the way of, like, the demos and all that yet. This is actually the first day we've been checking out demos. You try this game tomorrow? Yeah, no, it definitely is promising. But like I said, it does sort of give, like, Core Keeper vibes, that kind of thing. You played this or didn't see this one? Yeah, this one I only got... Like, I had seen it, but I hadn't, like, really looked at it much. Then I just saw FG playing it yesterday. And I was like, okay, I need to add that. Alright, so let's get the food storage going, because I'm assuming I need that for my people to not have a bad time. I just want to stack you in there easy. Ah, raw meat does not count as food. I understand. So we're definitely going to need a chest. We did find a ring that gives me stats. So let's go here. Alright, so we've got a wooden bucket to carry water, clay, and liquids. Farmland to prepare land for farming. Road to increase movement speed. Wooden cart holds up to 4 resources, can be connected to a chain to other carts. Manual mill creates flour. We can make a stationary trebuchet. Walls, wooden gate, coal trap. Plants that increases the happiness of citizens. A brazier that does light. And then a bunch of stuff like that. So I guess the next things would be... work on some farmland. Okay. And we're gaining levels on construction as well. I definitely think this is a game that when we get the a release version of it, not the demo, I'll be coming back to. Because it's very core keeper, but like more focus on the building side of things. Like there is big bosses. We have actually fought one of the big bosses. We didn't really know what we were doing and just tried to make it work. I'm pretty confident I can kill that bird. I just need to not go ham with my spell where I run out of endurance or stamina or whatever it is. So, we found seeds. But I don't know how to actually plant them. So I can go here. You make roads. You make a cart to pull around. You make a mill. So you need 3 wood. You need 4 stone. Taskbar? Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean by taskbar? Sorry. For seeds? Right, I don't know what you mean by taskbar. I didn't see a thing here to interact with. That's my confusion is. Okay, so you can process items. Yeah, because I don't see a thing here. At the bottom. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So, like, the item selection. Don't run away. It doesn't feel like I should be able to grow those that close together. Got wheat seeds. I assume we need the bucket to water them, which will be interesting. So the bucket. Alright. You stop working because your output is full. How dare you ever stop working? You know you should never, ever stop working. So we're definitely going to have something like a porter or something like that where I'll have to set up a production line kind of thing where one person cuts the wood, the other one moves the wood to a different location to be used or whatever the process is. So I kind of like that we're going to get production line kind of thing. It'll be curious about setting up the defenses, though. I think that's going to be a lot of work because of the material cost, but they're working on it for me. It seems like we get some basic setup and get some defense. That's pretty cool, actually. Okay, and there's where water is. And so this might be like the lesson where I just put that nearby. It might be that you don't keep your settlement all in one place. You take the time to put the settlement nearby water, all that kind of stuff. That's fine. Don't be one tile. Be something where I can water a lot with this bucket. Perfect. I don't know. Okay. What else do we have here? So we'd be able to build defenses and all that. We've got all our stuff built. Obviously, long term, we'd want to build a road, so let's experiment with that. So here's the road. Okay. Now, one thing this could use, we haven't had much of the way of music. We got lots of silence here. And again, that could be just early kind of access. It's not even early access, like demo kind of things. Yeah, so she's got that. I assume I put that there. That's supposed to carry 4 items. Yeah, so the cart's kind of cool. And then the roads speed up our movement by 1.5, so that's kind of cool that you have a reason to, like, build out the roads. I don't think I want to deal with the walls and the gates, and all the rest of that is, like, demolition. There's a logistics tab there. Okay. Right, so you want me to murder the giant owl. I can maybe do that. So let's go murder the giant owl. It's up here on the left. Let's go ahead and here. I need a mushroom. And go piss off an owl. Oh, weirdly... Okay. Ow. Boar. Oh, I drowned myself. Managed to sneak the eat. I couldn't see that was casting the lightning. I was like, all right, she just did her wing thing. I'll take a quick nibble here real fast. It'll be fine. And she went zap. Get out of here. So I noticed the last time she didn't come back at full health, which does make me curious. If it is a thing, I could abuse it by just re-engaging the boss again rapidly. If that's a strategy. So let's find out. No, she just always starts with a little less health. I did that to myself. I even saw the flicker, but I was stuck in the animation of eating. I even saw the flicker, just busy eating. It's like, well, that's not gonna end well for me. You don't have a health pot? No, I have to eat food. Actually, do I have health potions? I do have a health potion. A single one. Favor point unlocked. Okay. Get wrecked, owl. The head exploding a second before the rest of it. Divine chest, so we got coal, copper bar, some arrows, money, a feathered hood, the guardian's eye, some talons, and all that. Hey, it's my kill. Back off. Alright. So where's home? Straight down, basically. Alright, so we definitely got, like, the bosses. Again, you know, Core Keeper, Terraria-esque, that kind of thing, which is an excellent model. I think that's a good one to replicate. So we got our first quest item to give to this person. Wander. You walk among the remnants of an age turned to dust. Oh, right. You wanted me to put the eye on the altar. Sacrifices. Oh, wait. Oh, no, you sacrifice people. Okay. That's not exactly what I was looking for. Offer. This is a fine offering. Okay.
Huh?
Wander. Going around the roads, can I help you? If you have senses, well, we killed that. I'll get it done. Thank you. Did I not? I think it said to turn in at altar. I thought I did it. Let me... Oh, here we go. There we go. Claim reward. Huh, I remember now. Thank you, child. The owl you had slain, it was one of my old owl guardians. My name is Minerva, goddess of wisdom. Some of my lost memories have returned to me. I have provided you with some of my wisdom. If you return to your workbench, you'll see you can create new constructions. So we could discover the god altar. Offer a granite tooth at there. We hope you are enjoying the demo so far. Your feedback helps us make good. Cool. So you can wish list and all that stuff. The demo does not end here. There is more to explore. Gotcha. So they're basically saying, like, hey, you've hit that point where there's still plenty to go, but, like, Also, you know, don't forget to like wish list all this kind of stuff. Alright. Let's just look at what changed here. So we now have material storage, can hold resources and items. Blacksmith, Carpenter's Hall. Nothing new on that tab. Nothing new there. But yeah, so basically we got ourselves 3 new production buildings. And so the assumption from here is I would run around, get more people, all that stuff. Damaged house. Did he actually damage the house? But anyway, so yeah, so it looks like the gameplay loop from here would be, you know, I unlock the new things, I go get more citizens to work on the new things, to expand my operation, to be able to build stuff faster, seek out the next boss, unlock the next progression. And, you know, you have that feedback loop. Again, very Core Keeper, very Terraria. Though this one does seem to have more on the actual managing the settlement, building this kind of side. That seems to be a bigger thing here. There's like production lines, all that stuff. So I do think this is going to be a solid game. So at this stage, this is definitely on my I'm going to play it list. Now, this is a demo. There is more to explore. But rather than binging on the demo, where I'm going to eventually hit, you've done it all, I'd rather save that for when the game actually drops. So we are going to do one last quest, and just see what happens. So let's see. This person that we have rescued, they are excited and they're disloyal. So, die. That gave me a little bit of standing with everyone. Let no one perform sacrifice except according to the ancestral custom. Alright. So, it seems if you've got a citizen that's got stats you don't like, you can kill him. And it makes all the gods a little bit happier with you. So, you know. It's gonna be a real quiet town around here. Real quiet town. Reality is you'll obviously want the people working in the production. But yeah, so I do think this game definitely looks like one to keep an eye on. This is Romestead. So this is definitely a game I'm going to be coming back to. Because I figure... Oh, wait, what's this? Bad Omen. Duration 20 minutes. Can I see what Bad Omen does? It just says Bad Omen. And we just have to live with that. Okay, so there's Curse, Petrify, Root, Poison, Disease, Confusion, Charm, Burning. Alright, so this has got the, like, everything in the game, even piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing. So you can get resistance in everything. Now, the curiosity is, will those resistance be purely from, like, food buffs and armor? Or will these be the kind of things that as I get slapped in the face a bunch, I get better at not taking damage or being slapped in the face? It looks like crit damage is double damage to start with. I was seeing if I could suss out what Bad Omen does. But it's 1 stack. So it could be that once I've sacrificed someone, there is a penalty towards me getting more people or something. You know, understandably, when people realize you're murdering your people for, you know, boosting things. Recruitment situation kinda doesn't go great. I also pointed this out earlier. You take damage for falling in the water. So you cannot swim.
Oh?
You can send to my town. It could also be... that Bad Omen stacks, and if you do too many sacrifices, you know, you either like piss off the gods or like, you know, some kind of consequence happens from being a little too aggressive on your sacrifice. But I am going to quickly do a science with that. And then we'll probably go and vote to see what our next game is. Alright. You are unfocused, dead. So we've got 2 stacks of Bad Omen. Yeah, my assumption is that's like a way to trigger another boss or some kind of penalty, or while you're under Bad Omen, because these didn't seem to go up as, like, if they went up, I didn't notice it. So it very well could be while Bad Omen is up, you can't do another one to have some type of limiter, because otherwise, I could see that being a problem. So with that said, what we're going to end up doing now is we're going to be going and switching on to the next game that we're going to be checking out the demo of. For those over on YouTube, like I've been saying, unfortunately the reality is with the way YouTube works, I can't just switch category mid-stream and have it work out, so the stream will be dropping and then coming back up on a new game. I do apologize. Go yell at YouTube. Give them a way to allow us to switch the category and just have it like create a new video or something. I don't know. But as it stands, that's just how it be. Alright, so I'll be back in just a couple minutes over there on the YouTube side, and the Twitch side, we'll just, we'll keep things going. Alright, so now that they're all gone, what we're going to go ahead and do here is let's get a poll going for